So something I've been thinking about lately, indeed a couple of nights ago, is overthinking. Are you an overthinker like me? Is it positive or negative? Well, I'll tell you, if you are an overthinker and it causes you a bit of anxiety, or worse still, it causes you to lose sleep at night. And if you know what I mean, if you're an overthinker, you know it's not about waking up for 20 minutes. It can lose you a whole night's sleep, except of course for that last hour or two, because most of the time, if you're an overthinker and it keeps you awake at night, what happens is, of course, you're sound asleep when that alarm goes off for work. You can betcha you've watched every hour come in, you've tried to convince yourself to just chill out, count sheep, whatever, and you watch every hour, and yet when that alarm goes off, you're in the most beautiful deep sleep, and you could remain there for hours of contented sleep. But there are positives, and of course there are negatives. So if you overthink about things because you think in the day and you worry about an up and coming job or an up and coming event, massive one in my life was probably being asked to be my friend's best man when I was 18. The thought of public speaking then, that's my job now, but then, horrific. And I had 11 months from when he asked me to be his best man to the wedding day. And every single day that idea popped into my head just ruined my day for nearly a year. Now, it wasn't because I didn't know what I wanted to say or things about him. It was purely the public speaking. I overthought it. Of course, on the day, it all went perfectly well, no problem at all. And that's often the case with us overthinkers. We think, we lose sleep, we get anxiety in the day. Do you know what? The good positive from overthinking is that you tend to do it right, and you tend to do a good job. And if I'm honest with you, 9 out of 10 times, all the anxieties and worries about that task, afterwards you go, oh, you know this. Why did I worry so? It all went really well. But it probably went really well partly because of that overthinking, that thinking you must get it right. How are you going to get it right? What if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? It enables you to kind of think ahead of the problems. It enables you to circumnavigate problems because you've already thought of the problems that might occur. So you've already then had anxious overthinking moments, thinking, how do I actually stop that problem from occurring or from happening? The negative thing isn't just the daily anxiety of overthinking a problem you've got to solve, and then, of course, multiplying that by 1,000 mini problems that pop up into your head. What if? I think the not sleeping at night, because then usually the problem you're overthinking and not sleeping at night about isn't even going to be the next day. Might be weeks, days, months away. But not sleeping at night for most of us, then having to get up and go to work, is grueling. It's grueling enough on a day off the next day, but when you've got to go to work, it is absolutely grueling because you're now spending a whole day really, really tired. So tips and tricks, because it's really hard for us to change the way our brains are wired. You can rewire your brain. We'll come to that in other things, but you can rewire your brain. You can change it and think differently, or your brain's the same, but you can start to think differently because you've recognised what's going on. So counting sheep, I've tried that a lot of times since I was a kid. Doesn't usually work. It can. If you're in an overthinking, sleepless night, it just becomes cyclic. So for me, I'll get up and have a wee. I think, right, I just need to sleep. I need to be in a place of calm, shut my brain off, go and have a wee. Not going to be niggling me then, certainly at my age. And then I'll lay there and I'll try and think of just a nice pleasant darkness, clear my mind. And it can often take me ages to get that to work, or it doesn't work at all. But there are tricks. So trick number one, if you're going to try and clear your mind to allow sleep to come, this is something I've just started practicing. So I used to practice this on my phone, big mistake. If you keep notes on your phone, big mistake. As soon as you start looking at that phone again, your brain, and while I'm here, I'll just check my emails, I'll just check my messages. You're just firing up those cells in your brain. Have a little pad and a pencil or a pen that's attached to it, not that goes off somewhere else separate. Have a little pad. If you have ideas that you then start thinking about, but you don't want to be thinking about them, jot them down, take them out of your mind, and put them down somewhere. Then you won't have any anxious thoughts about, oh my gosh, if I forget this idea tomorrow, if I forget this problem-solving idea, oh, you know, I thought about it now. Oh, just have a little pad, write it down. Don't put it on your phone. You'll use your phone. Put it down there for sure. Just take it out of your mind and put it on a list, because as soon as you see that heading tomorrow, when you are in a sensible place to do something about it, you can do something about it. Now for you, this could be quite a new thing. Maybe you got a new job. Maybe you're doing something new that's just causing you anxieties, and it's just kick-started you into overthinking all these problems, and especially staying awake. But I've been doing this since I was a kid, like a restless leg syndrome thing. I couldn't sleep. I remember my Nanny Williams taking me on holiday, and my brother, in the school holidays and things, in her little caravan. We had so much fun. I remember climbing up a massive silver birch tree and hiding from my nan. I mean, gosh, I look back now, how she didn't get angry, I don't know. Just giggling to myself, watching my nan look for me while I'm, I don't know, 20 metres up a tree or something. We used to find golf balls on near a golf course, sell them off to a guy, a neighbour. I used to catch sticklebacks from a canal and keep them just for the duration of the mini break in a bucket or something. But my nan, she obviously got to the point she wanted a bit of evening. She wanted a bit of quiet time, maybe just reading or something, while us kids had gone to sleep. And I thought I just couldn't get to sleep. I was too excited. I wanted to know more about maybe some kind of caterpillar that I'd found. My head was whirring, and I'm talking a child, not a teenager. And she used to say, in my yoga classes, the lady teaches us to do, now this might laugh, but actually this could work. Just put your mind in a different place. Take it somewhere else. You do have to concentrate on these mind things. You do have to keep bringing back. So you'll focus on something to take your mind off your anxiety, your overthinking. And of course, it'll keep drifting back because it wants to. That's why it's so annoying and hard to get to sleep. You have to keep bringing it back consciously. No, I'm not thinking about that. So what I said, clench your toes up really as hard as you can, and then tense your leg muscles, then tense your tummy, and then tense your arms, squeeze your hands, and all the time think about something like laying on a gravel beach or even a sandy beach with just gentle waves lapping over you, over your feet and up your legs, a nice warm, just the sound of the waves. And you know, sometimes taking your mind somewhere like that, keep bringing it back there, work at it. It honestly does work. It honestly does work. For me, I just try and get my mind into darkness. As weird as that might sound, I don't mean a dark place, into darkness, but I'll have to empty my brain, put the things down I've just spent hours thinking about, round and round, write them down, get comfortable, go and have a wee, and then I'll just try and think of a quiet, dark place. You can train your brain to do that, and these things all help. Comment below what you do. How do you get away from this sleepless night syndrome where you're just thinking? Comment below. That helps me. I'd like to tell you in this episode, I've got the cure for you. I've got the cure for you. I haven't. One cure is too much alcohol, being absolutely exhausted, but being tired is often the worst time for me to overthink. I've got to be doing a day where I am exhausted. Head hits the pillow, out. What bliss. That's my wife's sleep habits. Head hits the pillow, she's out like a light. She could sleep anywhere, upside down, back. Some of us are just not blessed with that. And sleep deprivation is such hard work. So there's some ideas. Now, unfortunately, you know as well as I do that most of these sleepless nights overthinking are an utter waste of sleep. Because if you write it down, there's nothing more you can do. That's it. Think about it when you're sane and awake. There's nothing more you can do. But the worst kind of things are thinking about stuff, worries, worries about stuff, not problem solving, not thinking about a task, just worrying about stuff. Worrying about stuff for another episode, but worrying about stuff is so draining at night because there's nothing you can do about them at that point. There's nothing you can do, and it's so hard to remind yourself that. Why am I laying here worrying about something? Look, there's nothing I can do about it now. Jot that one down, get it out your head. But worst off, worrying about things that you can't do anything about. Worrying about someone else's problem far, far away. Worrying about a problem in the world that you are not ever going to be in a position to solve in any way, shape or form. So some stuff, worrying about stuff that's absolutely pointless. There's no point even knowing about the stuff, but there's certainly no point worrying about it. That brings you down to your media consumption and so on. And again, we'll look at that in another episode. But this episode really is just to try and give you a way to retrain your brain. I think if you can do a complete retrain on overthinking and lack of sleep, you're a miracle worker. I'd love it if I could just say, what am I doing? I'm overthinking, I'll switch that straight off, I'm going to sleep. I don't think it works like that if you've got this problem. But there are ways to really help. So please, a comment below, help everyone. What do you do when you're worried about stuff, or you're overthinking a problem and it's causing you massive sleep deprivation, and you know you're going to be looking at seeing nearly every hour in, apart from the one you've got to wake up in? What do you do to circumnavigate that, or to nip it in the bud, or to say enough's enough, it's time to sleep now? What's your way of achieving the solution to this problem? But please don't spend tonight worried about it. In extreme cases, you have to accept you've got to get up. You've got to get up. It's no good. You're going to wake your partner up or annoy them more and more, and you've got to get up. Don't go on your phone. Don't put the telly on. Read a book, whether it's a book of information or just a book about anything. Read a book will often, and even have a warm drink. Now for me, of course, I'll need another wee, won't I? But even have a warm drink, read a book. Don't go on a screen. That can often do wonders. But try and get into bed before the sleep completely hits you. The lovely feeling of it coming on. Get up to bed then. Often works a trick. Screens are the enemy.